Breaking news, ladies and gentlemen, breaking news. 60% of British citizens supports an apology for slavery. Greetings, greetings, and salutations to all nations. Ladies and gentlemen, you know it's Rastafari, so to your favorite Jamaica. If it's your first time tuning in or you have not subscribed, hit that red subscribe button and we're going to develop a great relationship, ladies and gentlemen. 3 in 5 people in UK agree that Caribbean nations and descendants of enslaved people should receive a formal apology over the horrors of transatlantic chattel slavery, which more than half stating that it should be coming from the UK government or from an organization who historically profit from slavery in the Caribbean. This is according to the latest research from the Repair campaign, which told launched a petition calling for reparation. The research conducted in England, Scotland, and Wales, February of 2024, shows strong understanding of the issue of reparation justice for slavery, with 64% of people very or somewhat familiar with the idea of making amends for the UK historic involvement in slavery through reparations or release from the Repair campaign, said Monday. 4 in 10 people reportedly agree that Caribbean nations should receive financial compensation to make amends for the legacy, of slavery and colonialism, as the Archives Repair campaign Dennis O'Brien commented. Ladies and gentlemen, the government and the monarch can no longer afford to ignore call for reparation justice. The UK's extraordinary wealth was generated from the free labor, free land, and the highly profitable proceeds of slavery. O'Brien said it was a 300-year Holocaust. There is clear support for action. People are fed up with these partionists by right-wing politicians and media commentary who try to divide communities over their issue, making amends of the injustice of slavery about straightening the connection both within the community and between the UK and Caribbean. The Repair campaign is calling on the UK to do the right thing. 3 little words: I'm sorry. Commenting on the finding, Laura Trevelyan, trustee, Trevelyan Grenada Reparation Fund, Honorary Association Fellow, P.J. Patterson Institute, the University of the West Indies, said it's extraordinary encouraging. Polling this specific has never been done before, and as campaign for reparation justice grow, the awareness of the present day legacy of slavery build hopeful support for apology and reparation for the descendants of enslaved Africans will become more widespread. It's 190 years since the abolition of slavery in Britain. The next decade is crucial, and we must redouble our effort to secure justice for the descendants of those who lost their liberty and all too often their lives at the hands of British government sanctioned slave trading to pursue profit at all costs. Professor Verin Shepherd, director of the Center of Reparation Research at the University of the West Indies and vice chair of the CARICOM Reparations Commissions, added, it has long been recognized that the trafficking of millions of Africans to the Caribbean and chattel enslavement across the region, act in which the British was leading participant, were crimes against humanity. The passing of the Slave Trade Abolition Act by Britain on March 25, 1801 did not end the human misery and suffering of Africans. Indeed, Britain did not call back ships already on their way to capture more Africans when the act was passed. This allowed 32 slavers to proceed and estimate 6,453 more Africans to suffer on the high seas and on plantation. On this March 25, 2024, when we observe yet another UN International Day to remember the victims of the transatlantic trafficking and the chattel enslavement of millions of Africans, the CRR called the Britain and other former and current colonial power to own up to their responsibility, issue a full and formal apology, not whisper or whistles or any statements of regret or deep sorrow for their horrible deeds, and use the CARICOM 10-point plan as a blueprint to do the right thing by the region. The polling was commissioned by the Reparation campaign and carried out by the Walnut Omnibus and National Reparative Omnibus Survey in 2016, adults across Britain between February of 16 and 19 of 2024. Now, I have two things to say about this thing here. I want the people them to know, so when they talk about reparations, them need to understand that all reparations should go to the motherland. The people them of the world asking for reparations from European and colonial enslavers or masters are looking to gain some kind of financial benefits. Yes, I understand. But to individualize the benefits is just going to split up the economical power that we are going to gain from the reparation. So we should demand that all reparation should be placed into a fund or a bank in the Bank of Africa to create a solid reallocation of the wealth, because the human resources that was depleted from Africa is the real financial wealth that the West use and other colonial fascists use to build their nation. It wasn't on an individual accord, although individuals are harmed, but it's Mother Africa as a whole. It's Africans as a nation that has been harmed. So I man speak on this as far as reparation. I think a body of world African leaders should be put together, and the reparation, the financial reparations that we receive from our colonial ex-slave masters should be placed into a fund to develop the financial stability of the whole continent of Africa. Because the problem that we have amongst ourselves is that we have too much individualism, as some people are going to get reparation and some are not. So the problem of who is to get reparation will be solved at that location when we say we don't care about the people them who get reparation, as long as the motherland get its financial reparation, so we can develop an economy and stabilize countries that has been destabilized because of the destruction of the colonial masters. Now, another thing that I want to speak on, the second thing I want to speak on, is that when they're talking about apology, if you notice, I'm reading an article here that was on the research. On the research, they say that, 3 in 5 people, which is 60%, agree that the Caribbean nation and descendants of slaves should receive a formal apology over the horrors of the transatlantic chattel slavery. And also, they have another statement that says that, 4 out of 10, 4 in 10, right? You see, they didn't put the number 4, they wrote in the word 4, so I couldn't find 4 in 10 agree. 4 in 10, that's 40%. So agree that the Caribbean nation should receive financial compensation to make amends of the legacy of slavery and colonialism. So you see, 60% want people to get apology, right? The descendants and the countries that were pillaged, the continent of Africa that was pillaged of its number one controllable resources, which is human resource. They want 60% of English, Britain citizen, UK citizen, want to give some lip service and apology, but only 40% want people to get some kind of financial compensation. But in the words of the great Rastaman Anthony B, you don't have to say you're sorry for all the wrongs that you have done. You are guaranteed, because the world is going to see. You are guaranteed, and like they say, in the beginning, and so shall it be in the end. My people, we don't have to beg Europe for no apology. We don't have to beg Europe for no reparation, because the Most High have given us our jewels. Our motherland have given it our complexion, our melanin, and the ability to actually, strive and survive through the greatest atrocity that mankind ever seen. So people, I know we want to hear it from the descendants of the slave master, but the descendants did not commit this crime. Their foreparents committed this crime, just like how we are not currently in any chattel slavery. So we should take the chains off our mind and show the European colonial children that we are the greatest of humankind, that we rise above like the cream of the crop, that we are not the sedimental rock. We don't lay down and be saturated in the dirt. Rise, my people, because you are great and you know for what it's worth. I'm Rastafari, Savior here, ladies and gentlemen. It hurts to know that 190-something years, almost 200 years have gone since the legal documentation by the colonial master has been made public, that the slavery has been abolished, and we are here still asking for just a simple gesture of humanity, something called an apology. But you don't have to say you're sorry. You don't have to show that you're humans, because we are you're mankind. I'm kind of man. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Rastafari Soldier here of Deep Roots TV, reporting live in the studio. They say 64% of UK citizens agree that we should get some lip service in the form of apology for the chattel slavery that has been brought into our ancestry, the tragedy that has been laid upon humanity, the worst violation of the Most High people, and only 40% agree that we should get some kind of financial compensation. And I man say, if we are getting financial compensation, the compensation should be sent to the motherland to help the African nation. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Rastafari Soldier. Leave your comment on this one. More life and more joy and more happiness. And big up on yourself, you are guaranteed. And if you can't big up on yourself, don't big up no one.
Yeah man, big up the Deep Roots TV, Caution says so.
Big up Deep Roots TV.
Yo, this one is for the youths. Yeah, you're watching Deep Roots. I know you're cute.
Deep Roots TV.
Big up Deep Roots TV.
Shout out to Deep Roots, bro. Shout out Deep Roots TV.
Tune in to Deep Roots TV. Log in, subscribe, online, YouTube. Get there or be square. Jack what we said
So from them mix with the fire, them have to mix with the lightning. Them mix with the lightning, them have to mix with the thunder. Them mix with the thunder, them got to mix with the world. And it's so black people I put the wicked them under. Hey Babylon, me see them a fret and them a wonder. Who flashy lightning and who roll the thunder? Deep Roots flashy lightning and not him roll the thunder. Babylon, me see that them a panda. Look how much of the youth them well them shut and kill, look how much them put under. How much of the youth them well them send a dove cut ya. Where Babylon the fire burn no longer. Babylon Deep Roots full of say you can't turn ya. Fire king, Rastaman and a real fire king. Whoa, fire king, Rastafari soldier and real fire king. Yeah, balalang bang,
Pick up Deep Roots TV. Respect, make sure to tune in here every time.